When you think of puberty, you probably imagine a certain age around 11 or 12, right? But more and more girls are starting puberty as young as 7 or 8 years old. This shift isn't just happening in one or two cases. It's becoming a noticeable trend. Puberty is a time of big changes for any child. But when it happens early, it can bring challenges that parents and kids aren't prepared for. So why is this happening? We're about to dive into the science behind early puberty in girls, look at the factors contributing to this shift, and discuss what parents need to know to navigate this important stage of their child's life. From environmental factors to diet and stress, there's a lot to consider. 1. Changes in diet. Let's start with diet, because what we put into our bodies has a profound impact on how we grow and develop. Over the years, our diets have changed drastically. We're eating more processed foods, refined sugars, and chemical additives, but there's a darker side to this modern diet. One of the key factors driving earlier puberty in girls could be the increase in endocrine disruptors, chemicals that interfere with the body's natural hormone system. Endocrine disruptors are found in plastics, pesticides, and even some foods and drinks. For example, hormones in meat and dairy can be absorbed by our bodies, and studies suggest that these substances could be accelerating the onset of puberty. Imagine your body as a finely tuned machine where the chemicals in your food are the fuel. If the fuel is contaminated, it can cause the machine to run differently faster or less efficiently. In this case, it means puberty starts earlier than expected. Additionally, the high sugar and fatty foods common in many modern diets can also stimulate hormonal changes that trigger earlier puberty. When the body's fat stores increase, particularly in the abdominal area, it can signal an early start to puberty. More fat means more estrogen production, which speeds up the development of secondary sexual characteristics. 2. Environmental factors. Next, we need to consider environmental factors. The world we live in today is full of synthetic chemicals and pollutants that can disrupt the endocrine system. Things like phthalates, found in many plastics, parabens used in cosmetics and lotions, and BPA, found in plastic bottles, can all mimic hormones in the body, throwing off the natural balance. Think of these chemicals as invisible invaders. At first, you don't see the effects, but over time, they can change the way your body functions. These hormone-disrupting chemicals might be present in everyday items like cleaning products, toys, and personal care products. Even something as simple as a receipt could contain BPA, which is absorbed through the skin. Over time, these chemicals accumulate in the body and can affect the normal timing of puberty. So, when we talk about early puberty, it's not just about the food we eat, it is about the environmental exposure our kids face every day. 3. Increased body weight. Another significant factor is increased body weight. In recent years, there's been a noticeable rise in childhood obesity. Higher levels of body fat can cause an earlier onset of puberty, especially in girls. Fat cells produce estrogen, the hormone responsible for many of the physical changes during puberty. The more fat cells a girl has, the more estrogen is circulating in her body, which can trigger early puberty. Think of your body as a thermostat. When you add more fuel, in this case, body fat, the thermostat turns up the heat. In the case of early puberty, that heat is the hormone levels pushing your body into puberty sooner than it normally would. This is why a balanced diet and regular physical activity are crucial, not just for maintaining a healthy weight, but also for managing the timing of puberty. 4. Stress and mental health. Stress plays a significant role in the body's hormonal balance. And in today's world, stress levels in children are higher than ever. Whether it's school pressure, social media, family stress, or the constant bombardment of information, kids are dealing with a lot. This stress can actually influence puberty. When a child experiences chronic stress, the body produces cortisol, a hormone that, in high amounts, can interfere with the production of other hormones, including those that regulate puberty. High levels of cortisol can signal to the body that it's time to grow up quicker to face the stressors ahead. Imagine stress as a pressure cooker. Over time, the more pressure you put in, the quicker things start to heat up. For girls, this can mean earlier puberty. Additionally, the impact of social media and peer pressure can add emotional stress that affects hormone production. When girls feel the weight of these expectations, their bodies might react by speeding up development. 5. Genetics and family history. Genetics, of course, plays a role in the timing of puberty. If a mother or older sibling went through puberty early, it's more likely that the younger girl will too. This is due to inherited genetic markers that influence how and when puberty begins. But, even with genetics, the environment we live in can have a synergistic effect, meaning that our modern lifestyle may interact with genetics to bring puberty on even earlier. So, think of it like this. If your family has a history of early puberty, it's like setting the stage for an earlier show. But if you add certain environmental factors like diet and stress, it's like turning up the volume on that show, making it happen even sooner. Now, why does this matter? Early puberty in girls can bring emotional, social, and physical challenges. They may struggle with feelings of self-consciousness as their bodies change before their peers. Early puberty can also lead to increased risk for mental health issues like anxiety and depression, especially as they try to navigate the emotional complexities of puberty at such a young age. Additionally, there are long-term health risks associated with early puberty. Girls who enter puberty early may have a higher risk of breast cancer later in life due to prolonged exposure to estrogen. They may also experience early menstruation, which can lead to health problems like ovarian cysts or fertility issues down the line. In conclusion, early puberty in girls is a complex issue driven by a combination of factors from diet and chemicals to genetics and stress. While some of these factors are out of our control, there are steps we can take to support our kids, like encouraging healthy eating habits, reducing exposure to harmful chemicals, and managing stress. Understanding why this is happening is the first step in making sure our children have the tools and support they need to navigate this challenging stage of development. If this video opened your eyes to the causes behind early puberty, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more content on health and parenting. Let me know in the comments, have you noticed early puberty in your kids or others? What steps do you think we can take to help them? Let's talk about it and learn from each other.